It's the engine room of the internet. It handles billions of dollars in transactions, secures the user data, and powers the AI revolution. Yes, it is the backend. If you want a tech career that is high demand, high salary, and frankly, less concerned with centering divs and more concerned with system architecture, you want to be a backend engineer. But the landscape is changing fast. The roadmap that worked in 2023 is already outdated. AI is shifting workflows, cloud is getting complex, and expectations are higher. Today, I'm giving you the definitive, future-proof roadmap to going from zero to a hired backend engineer in 2026. Let's build. Before we continue, I want you to know that this channel is all about growing as software engineers together. If you want to join, subscribe now. Very quickly, what is the backend? The frontend is what the user sees. The backend is everything that makes what the user sees actually work. It's the server, the database, and the application logic. So what's wrong with the old roadmaps? Because in the next couple of years, backend isn't just about fetching data from a database anymore. It's about integrating large language models, managing massive scale on the cloud, and prioritizing security. It's an exciting time to dive in. I've broken this roadmap into 5 distinct phases. Don't skip any of them. Phase 1. Foundations. Before writing a single line of backend code, you need to understand the environment you live in. First, how the internet works. Seriously, what happens when you type a URL into a browser? If you can't explain DNS, HTTP, HTTPS, and basic networking concepts, you aren't ready to build on top of them. Second, the command line. Backend engineering mostly happens on Linux servers. Get comfortable with the terminal. You need to know how to navigate directories, move files, and SSH into remote servers without a graphical interface. Third, Git. You cannot get a job without knowing Git. Learn how to commit, branch, merge, and handle merge conflicts on GitHub or GitLab. This is mandatory teamwork collaboration. Phase 2. Choose your stack. Phase 2 is where people get paralyzed, choosing a programming language. Here's the golden rule for beginners. Pick one and master it. Do not language hop. For a 2026 roadmap, I recommend one of these 3 paths based on your goals. Path A, the ecosystem giant, JavaScript, TypeScript with Node.js. If you already know some front-end, this is the easiest transition. TypeScript is now practically mandatory for serious backend node work. It's huge in startups and modern tech companies. Path B, the corporate stalwarts, Java with Spring Boot or C# with .NET. If you want stability, massive enterprise jobs, and banking, insurance sectors, these are the kings. They aren't the trendiest, but they run the Fortune 500. Path C, the modern performance kings, Go or Rust. If you want to work on high-performance cloud infrastructure or bleeding-edge tech, pick Go. It's easier to learn than Rust and dominates the cloud-native space. Rust is amazing, but the learning curve is steeper. Phase 3. Data and APIs. Okay, now you know a language. Now you need to make it do something. A backend engineer's main job is to move data securely. First, databases. You must learn SQL. It is non-negotiable. Start with PostgreSQL or MySQL. Learn how to design tables, write complex queries, and understand indexing. Then, learn one NoSQL database. I highly recommend Redis for caching. You'll use it everywhere. MongoDB is also fine, but know SQL first. Next, APIs. You need to build ways for the frontend to talk to your backend. Master RESTful API design first. Understand verbs like get, post, put, delete, and status codes like 200 versus 404. Once you know REST, look into GraphQL. Finally, security. You need to understand authentication and authorization. Learn how to JWTs work and how to implement OAuth 2. Phase 4. Infrastructure and DevOps Lite. This is where the roadmap changes for 2026. In the old days, you wrote code and through it over-evolved to an operations team. Those days are gone. You need to know how your code runs. Number 1. Docker. Learn how to containerize your application. If you send a recruiter a project that I can run with a single Docker Compose app command, you are instantly in the top 10% of junior applicants. Number 2. Pick one cloud provider. AWS is the market leader, just start there. You don't need incredible depth yet, but you need to know what EC2, S3, and RDS are. Learn how to deploy a simple app to the cloud, not just your local host. Number 3. CI/CD. Learn GitHub Actions if you're using GitHub. Automate it so that when you push code to Git, it automatically runs tests and deploys to your server. Phase 5. The 2026 X Factors. You could get a junior job with phases 1 through 4, but if you want to stand out in 2026, you need the X Factors. First, the AI integration layer. Backend engineers aren't necessarily training LLM models, but we are building the systems that use them. Learn what a vector database is and why they are needed for AI memory. Learn how to integrate the OpenAI API or Anthropic API seamlessly into your backend flow. This is a massive resume booster right now. Second, system design. As a junior, you won't design Netflix from scratch, but you need the vocabulary. Understand concepts like load balancing, caching strategies, and the difference between horizontal versus vertical scaling. Read up on the cap theorem just so you know what it is. The tech stack is important, but I have to mention the things that actually get you hired. Your portfolio. Stop building to-do lists. Stop building weather apps. Build a backend for a small e-commerce store that handles fake payments. Build a real-time chat app using WebSockets. Build something that uses a background job queue like BullMQ or Celery to process heavy tasks. Crucially, document it. A great README file explains why you made certain technical choices. And finally, communication. Backend engineering is abstract. In interviews, you need to clearly explain complex invisible concepts to other humans. Practice talking through your code decisions out loud. This roadmap is a lot. It's supposed to take time. Don't try to do this in 6 weeks. This is a 6 to 12 month journey if you're starting from scratch, and that's okay. If you are committed to this roadmap, let me know in the comments which language you've chosen for phase 2. If this roadmap clarified things for you, hit the like button and subscribe. Now, go open your terminal. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.